I'll just do my own without knowing that that would be the key to the president. When they said to me, Prophet, you need to speak to the president, I said, to me, forget it. In my entire generation, they have never ever had a handshake with the president, but God made it possible. I was shocked to my bones. Even the excellency was saying yes to me. Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. I have become like a national prophet. He said to me, the next time you are coming, you will be given a state protocol. I said, I don't need that. Just let me come quietly. And I did quietly. Amen. God has been so good. A woman wrote me a letter, I think I showed you. He wrote me a letter, full letter. So I was not expecting what I saw. I was not expecting. I received more than 20 letters. My emails have been packed. He said, I have seen men of God, I have never seen such. Amen. God has been so good.
Amen.
And I thank God I also met you doing so good. Amen. Those who don't come to church because Papa is not around, they are the ones who miss. It's no longer going to be as usual. I have to let you know that I'm around. No, it is up to you to decide. If you still want to serve God here or you go to another place. It's not like a man, it's God we are serving. We are not here for a man. I said we are not here for a man.
Amen.
A man can sleep today and not wake up tomorrow.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes,
tell everyone that cares to listen. God has been so good to us. Amen. Are you ready for the word? Say, Father, rest your feet. Let your word come to me this morning. Father, let your word come to me. Give me a word that will change my season. Open your mouth and cry to him. Give me a word that will change my season. Give me a word that will change my season. Give me a word that will change my season. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. After this session, Father, plant everyone into your tabernacle of your glory. In the name of Jesus. Let 2020 be a different year. Let it be a year with a difference. Have your way, Lord. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. And the people will shout a loud amen. If you happen to see me this morning, shout the loudest amen. Are you blessed? Come on, talk to me. Are you blessed? Amen. Divine presence. This is our year of the overflowing blessing. So I have taught you how to secure His going with you before you go. Hello? How to do what? How to secure His going with you before you proceed. Don't proceed further unless He goes with you. Say, I hear. I can't hear you. Going ahead of Him is to end up in a ditch. Your securing His presence is what makes the year happen for you. Amen. 2020 shall be your year. Amen. I don't like your amen. Shout it out, amen. Please be seated. Securing divine presence for the overflowing rest in 2020. Securing divine presence. Listen to me, child of God. Our strive, our cry, our greatest desire For 2020, it should be that, Lord, go with me. Say, Father, go with me.
Go with me.
When God refused to go with a man, the man is helpless in the journey. It is God with a man that makes the journey to be. So, our greatest strives, our greatest desire should be His presence. Say, Lord, I need your presence.
Lord, I need your presence.
I can't hear you shout it louder.
Lord, I need your presence.
I can't hear you shout it louder.
Lord, I need your presence.
It is His presence that makes it different. And I'm going to be showing you the key to His presence. And how you can enjoy His company. I told you 2 Sundays ago that it is Him in your company that makes better things accompany you. It is God in your company. It is what?
God.
In your company. Somebody offered me money and he said, please sir, don't go back to South Africa. He offered me, I think you were there when the other person that was with me was talking. He offered me money, give me gift. He said, anything you want, I am ready. Sir, don't go. When God is in your company, better things accompany you. When a man is on his own, he struggles alone. Are you with me? Amen. Please focus. I want your attention this morning. Because you have labored and labored year in and year out. Why? Because you have always been on your own. It is God in your journey. It is God in your company. Psalm 114, the sea saw him and he fled. He said, what ailed thee when thou fleddest? Psalm 114. Hello? Psalm 114. Give me verse 3. I didn't know that even the rams could skip like a mountain. Psalm 114. The sea saw him. Jordan was driven back. Look at verse 4. Look at that. When they saw him, the mountains skipped like rams. The little hills like lambs. Go down, verse 5. When they saw him in their company, what ailed thee, O thou sea that thou fled? Thou Jordan, that thou was driven back. Listen, it is God in your company that makes the enemy to be driven back.
Amen.
You didn't hear what I said? Talk to me, church. It is God in your company. So you have no excuse not to go with him. What LLE? Why are you flying? See, I never know that sea can go back. I never know they can be parted until his presence is involved. Verse 6. Look at that. Verse 6. You mountain that is kept like ram. Verse 7. And you little hills like lambs. Tremble thou heart at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the God of Jacob. Don't forget what I said. Verse 7. Tremble thou heart at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the God of Jacob. Listen, when God personalizes his presence to you, it becomes your God. Not just at the presence of God, but at the presence of the God of Jacob. You didn't hear that? When God becomes your God, the devil has bowed out.
Amen.
Are you with me? So God's desire is for him to be your God. He desire. Did you hear that? God longs to be with you. He misses you when he's not seeing you. Have you ever missed a person before? pleases you. His greatest achievement is that he is with you. So think of what you are going to hear this morning and let your spirit man be alive. I see His presence going with you in 2020. Amen. Come on, shout aloud, amen. Amen. So we have an assignment to secure His presence. It's the first month in the year. We have an assignment. If there's anything we must not miss in 2020 is His presence. Because that is what will determine the outcome of the year. Now I know for sure that at the end of this year, you and I, we are going to have a great testimonies. I said we are going to have a great testimonies. The presence of God right now is what guarantees rest for every believer on the earth. Rest. Listen, if you are in church, please take note. Aren't you tired of being a child, being pushed, being tired at every little thing? It is your grown. You have not grown spiritually. That is why what you can handle is still little. You need to outgrow where you are. It is God's presence that guarantees rest for every man, every believer on the face of the earth. Listen carefully, don't forget. Are you getting what I'm saying? Hello? Or you are playing with something? Look at me. Your focus makes your life a focus. Focus on this altar and something will be dropped into your spirit. His presence is what guarantees rest. Say with me, rest. Rest. I can't hear you. Rest. Shout it like you mean it. Rest. I can't hear you. Come on. Rest. Only three people are still talking. Come on, shout it. Let me hear you. Rest. Speak out. You are in church. Speak out. What is that? Speak out. Open your mouth and speak. It is one guarantee. Rest. Listen to me carefully, church. Look at me. I have seen all kinds of people who are restless in life. They have money, they have wealth, they have positions, they have power, they have authority, they have clothes, they have shoes, they've got cars, they've got houses. Anyone they want to sleep in, anytime, anywhere, any day. They fly private jets. Yet, they have no rest. Yet, they have no what? Rest. No rest. Nothing can give you rest except His presence. Exodus 33, verse 14. God said to Moses, my presence shall go with you, and I will give you rest. My presence shall go with you, and I will give you rest. My presence shall go with you, and I will give you rest. My presence. So it is His presence that guarantees our rest. And because of his relationship with God, Moses knew that this God can change his mind along the way. Look at what he said in verse 15. He said, if you will not go with me, please leave me here. Don't say tomorrow now the people angered you or they say something you don't like. Now you back out. Because there are wild animals at the journey. There are Pharaoh power on the line. There are forces of darkness that want to kill me and destroy me all. Don't take me from here if you will not go with me. And God said to him in verse 14, I said my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. Many are looking for rest they can't find. That is why you go to school. The reason why you go to school is to have rest. Yet you can't find it. The reason why you are working is to have rest. That is when you've grown up. When you are now at retirement, you don't need to struggle. You will not be eating your savings. Yet you can't find rest. Only in God, our security for rest is certain. I see this year your year in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
So you need to understand. Because when we see, look at the man called Adam. How many of you know Adam? Adam. You don't know Adam? Let me show your hand if you know Adam. Alright? Put down your hands. Adam was the man, the first man God ever created. He was in the Garden of Eden. Look at this. He was in the Garden of Eden doing as he wants. Say with me, rest. I can't hear you. There is nothing in Eden that is not available. There is nothing in Eden that is not provided for. Adam was living in absolute rest. Why? Because God is always with him. He comes down to him at the cool of the day as his custom is. So what happened to Adam, look up, was not that Adam lost the garden, he lost his presence. Adam lost his presence. A man that was so full of rest, everything was subject to him. He was only subject to God. Yet, at his fall, he lost his presence and thereby lost his rest. He lost the presence of God. Write it down. Adam lost the presence of God and then he lost his rest. Lion used to look at Adam and run. After the fall of Adam, lions see Adam and run towards Adam to kill him. Why? Because he had a forbidden fruit. Why? He disobeyed the commandment of heaven. Why? He took law to his hands. And that is what must happen for us to regain back his presence. Say, I hear. I can't hear you. Adam needed not to be afraid. He was a supernatural, fearless being, restful. When he sees, you see as gigantic as elephant is, he bows to Adam. He bows to Adam. As subtle as a serpent is, he bowed to Adam. Come on now. Listen to this. He needed no ship to cross any river in the garden. Everything was under him. He has to go into the deep to name the fishes because the fishes will not have come up to be named. Are you getting what I'm saying? All the name of fishes you see, it was named by Adam. They were not there on the surface, they were in the deep. There are 4 rivers in the garden, which I have taught you over and over. So you need to understand what happened to Adam. Adam was fully in charge. Why? Because of God's presence was fully around. Say again. In Genesis chapter 2 verse 19. Genesis chapter 2 verse 19. That shows us that Adam shared the same mind with God. Whatsoever Adam gave names to, whatever names Adam called them, the Bible said they were, that is the name they bear even till today. It was a supernatural level. And that is what every man have lost. And on the ground of the, God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was what the name thereof. God needed not to adjust it. He was walking in the beauty of his presence. Are you getting with me? Are you getting what I'm saying? Amen. Talk to me. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Amen.
When you are in my presence, you will understand that this is what he says, this is what he says, this is what he says. When I arrived in my last trip, the first nation before going to the second nation, look up, they gave me a protocol, and the man of God said, you don't need to sit beside, because I don't want to disturb and interrupt you. But every morning, this pastor will resume to you and tell him anything you want. Ask him to do anything. Whatever you want to do in the service, tell him, he will tell me. Anyone you want to see, he will bring them to you or take you to them. Church, I don't need to seek my host. As far as I see him, I have seen him. Are you getting what I'm saying? You don't need to go and look for God. As far as you have seen your Moses, you have seen God. Exodus 33 verse 14, he spoke to Moses that my presence will go with you. And in that, speaking to the whole of Israel, my presence will go with you. He was not talking to the whole of Israel. He was talking to who? To who? I can't hear you. To who? To Moses. As far as Moses is in my presence, as far as I'm concerned, that's Israel standing. That is Israel standing. So if you want to have his presence, it must be in the presence of a prophet. A set man God have ordained for your life. Are you getting me? Amen. I can't hear you, church. Amen. It has to be. It has to what? Be. In the presence of your man of God. God did not promise Noah that his presence will go with him because there is nobody following him. Noah only had the mandate to build an ark for 120 years. All the men you see in the Bible, they have an assignment to fulfill. But for Moses, it was to take them from Egypt. 6 million people from Egypt, passing through all kinds of wilderness. There are 12 wilderness in the Bible they have to go through. They have to go through all of that. They have to pass through all of those deserts. They have to go through all of those pain that are wide animal, years upon years. So God knew that he needs to have a covenant with Moses, otherwise. And he said, his cloud of fire and the pillar, they will go with you. When they stop, you stop. When they move, you move. 6 million. Even if you are in your bathroom and the cloud is moving, you have to move. Hello? Amen. Come on, talk to me. Hello? Yes, sir. Even if you are about to give back and the cloud is moving, everybody take off. Why? Because when it stops, it stops. Wherever it stops, they come. All through the year, if it's not with you and you come, you are in trouble. That is why I discovered that many could not make it through the year because it's not there with them. As for you and I'm glad that you are in this meeting this morning. It's going with you. Yeah. God spoke to me vividly. I hadn't talked, said to them, I will go with them. Amen. Very sweet voice. He said he will go with you. Amen. My God. I said he said he will go with you. Amen. So Adam knew what God was saying. Why? Because he's always in his presence. Look at this. Look at this. Molano, look up. Look, face this altar. Don't distract me. Let your eyes fix on this altar. Are you getting what I'm saying? He was in his presence. So anything named, it was that name that God said. He was God, write it down, in human flesh. Why? Because he has rubbed, he has intercourse with God. He has rubbed on me. So he carried the mind of God. So anytime I arrive in the meeting, I don't need to speak to the man of God because I've already given every instruction to the man he said will serve me. So the man stand before me and take order for the day. Are you getting me? I speak to him 1, 2, 3 points, and I said I need 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he said, consider it done, sir. That is the protocol to his presence. God appoints a man before you in whom you must stand. In whom you must stand. And he gives you instruction as by what God is saying for your life pattern. This is what God is saying. This is what God is saying. Look at the last chapter of John. The last chapter of the book of John. Give it to me, church. Studio. The last chapter and the last verse. When the gospel of Jesus was concluded, it was written that it's not everything that is in this Bible that happened. If we are to have them, some of you will need 10 cars to carry a Bible, 10 vehicles. The last John, the book of John, the last chapter, the last verse. Look at it. He said, listen, God did not write it in the Bible that this is the kind of woman you should marry, this is the kind of man you should marry. He just said that be not unequally yoked with the darkness. So you still need a set man that stand before God to give you what God is saying for your life, for the journey of the year. There are also many other things, look on, which Jesus did, the which, if they should be written, everyone, I suppose that even the word itself could not contain the book that should be written. Did you see that? So if you think, okay, I have the Bible, I can go the journey. Brother, sister, you will not find yourself at the end of the journey. The one that wrote the scripture, the word himself, said, the work I did, if it were to be written, even the world you are in cannot contain it. So you need to understand the place of a set man before you. When he stands before God, he takes a message for you in order for you to move on the journey. Fortunately, many of us will lose it. Say I hear. So Adam was always in his presence, and he takes a word. Whatever God says, he takes it, and it goes on and on and on. If you are hearing what I'm saying, shout amen. Let me hear you.
Amen.
So when Jesus came, look at this. The last Adam came in Matthew chapter 10, Matthew 28, verse 11. Matthew 28, verse 11. The last Adam came and he said, come unto me, all ye that labor, and I will give you rest. So he came to restore us back, to restore you and I back towards what the first Adam lost. His presence. Say with me, his presence.
His presence.
I can't hear you.
His presence.
Come on, shout it louder.
His presence.
So, if you say you have the Bible, you don't need a prophet, then you have missed it. God did not, there is no Coca-Cola company, there is no MTN company, there is no DSTV company in the Bible, there is no ESCOM, there is no Johannesburg municipality, city of Johannesburg. They are not in the Bible. So if God says, I will give you wherever the sole of your feet will tread, you still need to know where is that place. He said wherever, but you still need to know where is that place. Any doubt that played down his presence through his man of God has played down his journey in life. Do you hear what I'm saying? God does not need to see you face to face as long as he has seen the servant he sent to you. Did you hear that? You remember the rich man and Lazarus? They both died. Isn't it? Lazarus went to heaven. The rich man went to hell. You remember?
Yes.
Talk to me.
Yes, sir.
And the rich man said to Father Abraham, he said, please let Lazarus put his hand in the water and put it in my tongue. I'm dying of thirst. He said, no, there is nothing like that because there's a big dip between you and him. And the man said, hey sir, one last request. Let me go back to the world. Look at that guy. I suppose that guy is a Nigerian. That rich man is a Nigerian. When you look at him very well, very smart. If he's not in Nigeria, he will be a Tonga man. Very smart. Very, very smart. So let me go back and tell my families and friends that this place, we read them out. We were told about. It's true. Let me go back. He said, no, don't bother yourself. There is nothing like that. There are prophets, pastors, teachers that are there. If they can listen to them, they will not come to where you are. So God will not bother himself about you as far as his presence is concerned. If you listen to what he has said to his prophet for your life, you have a future guaranteed. Are you with me? Come and talk to me. Are you with me? I see someone, I can pray, I can read the word. I don't need a prophet. You will die on the journey without knowing. You will be crushed on the journey. You may end up in a ditch without knowing. That is why God has placed his mouthpiece. That's why God has placed his instrument before you. So that you don't end up the way others ended up. I see 2020 answer for you in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
So it was not the garden, write it down, that Adam lost. Write it down, everybody. It was that secret place where God always met with him. The signature of God upon his life. What makes Adam to be different? What makes Adam to be different? What makes Adam to be fearless? What makes Adam to be special was what Adam lost. That was what he lost. So this morning, my assignment is to bring you back into that secret place. He lost access, write it down, to the secret place. Adam began to walk anyhow, began to talk anyhow. Look at what David said in Psalm 51 verse 17. Psalm 51 verse 17. He was no longer a broken heart. He said, thou will not cast out a broken spirit. So his presence takes out some things in your life. There are things that is not meant to go back with you when you met with God. His presence will not leave you the way he met you. If you are listening to me, say, I hear you.
I hear.
So there are things that will not continue with you. Adam is no longer seeing lies as a sin. Adam is no longer seeing disobedience as a sin. Adam is no longer seeing disobedience as an error. He now sees disobedience as a way to patch things. So when you don't understand what Adam lost, you cannot go back to what he lost. He said, Psalm 51 verse 17, a broken spirit. Listen, God is always looking for a man, for a woman whose spirit is broken, whose heart is broken. The sacrifices of God are of broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart of God that will not despise. Listen to me, it does not matter who you are. It does not matter what you have. It does not matter what you have. If your heart is not a broken heart, God will despise you. Did you hear that? A contrite heart, oh God, will not despise. You Adam no longer see whatever God says he must not do. He sees it as a way of, it's a new thing now. Because it's not too much. At least when your wife talks to you, you should be able to listen. At least we are now in the modern day, we should be able to eat some apple. He never knew that because he's no longer feeling that presence anymore, his heart is now becoming a stony heart, no more a broken heart. I speak to your life. If you can shout amen, you will not miss his presence. Amen. Come on, shout a loud amen. Let me hear you. Amen. Why is your amen like that? Shout amen like a thunder. Let me hear you. Amen. So he lost access. He lost access to where he talks to him anytime, any day, anyhow. You see many wandering in town today. You see many walking about in town today. You see many who are a wanderer today. Why? They have wandered away from their secret place. Every man has his own secret place where he meets with God, where God meets with him. Are you listening to me? Amen. Please focus. That is the cry of David in Psalm 61 verse 2. Psalm 61 verse 2 said, Lord, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Lead me. He said, I will cry unto thee when my heart is overwhelmed. Lead me when my heart. Listen to me. Anytime you are overwhelmed with situation, where do you go? To the rock. Take my hands. Listen to this. Look out. Take my hands. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Take me to the place you are, that secret place. That's where I want to be. Take my hands, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Take me to that place you are, that secret place. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. When I see a man and I don't see his signature upon him, I know it's a man who have not honored the protocol and the secret place. There is a protocol to a secret place. David said, when my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock. That is it. Don't just be in church, don't just be around. Be planted at the secret place. Be planted at the secret place. Don't just be a nominal Christian. Be a man of the secret place. Be a woman of the secret place. Say, I hear.
I hear.
What makes people to be a different man? What makes people look up to own the airspace? No bird can compete with him. Isn't it? People dominate the air. Why? Look up. One reason. He soared higher to the rock. The place that is higher than now. Lead me to the place. That place you are. The secret place. The secret place. The secret place. I pray for you. In 2020, you will not miss God's presence. Amen. So His presence is what guarantees our dominion. If you must have rest, another word for rest is dominion. Write it down. Is dominion. You are in charge. Nothing is pressing you. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Look at you. Nothing is pressing you. Our is rest. Is what conferred us to be in charge. Another word for rest is dominion. Adam was fully in charge. Nothing presses him. His presence. God with a man, write it down, makes him supernaturally fearless. That's what David said in Psalm 23 verse 4. Psalm 23 verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Supernaturally fearless. Anytime his presence is gone, you are fearful. Anytime he's no longer around, you are a lightweight. Anything can happen. That's why even a small flu beat you down. A small flu, a small headache. Hello? Why? Because you are wrong. Any little thing make you jittery, agitated. It's obvious that he's no longer around. It's obvious. God with a man, write it down, makes him supernaturally fearless. Fearless. Psalm 23 verse 4. Even though I walk, look at it. Even though I walk. When the president is now fearful in his presidency, in his palace, then there's a problem. There's a problem. Sir, there's an aura that goes with the president. They don't just go anywhere. I thought I used to see, now I know. My protocol that was with me said, "Daddy, a request to take a picture." I said, "Look at you. You don't ask dignitaries to take pictures. They must be the one to say, 'Sir, I will take pictures.' You don't ask them for their phone number. They must be the one to say, 'Sir, take.'" How do I know? Because I have been around greatness. I have seen great men. Great men in my journey in life and ministry. I sit with them for hours, for minutes. Look at this. Until you understand what it takes to walk through, you can't access his presence. You can't access his presence. You can't access his presence. Look at Isaiah 43 verse 2. He said, even though you walk through the water, he didn't say you run. David in Psalm 23 verse 4 didn't say, I will run through the valley of the shadow of death. It is a walking. Say with me, a walking. I can't hear you. Shout it like you mean it. Even though you pass through, when thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Why? Because I will be with you. No matter what you are walking through. Listen, our journey as a Christian is not running. It is in walking. Say with me, walking. I can't hear you. Walking. Hello? Walking. Hello? Walking. Louder, let me hear you. Walking. That is it. It's not running. Don't let anybody deceive you. There is no running in the kingdom. It is a walking through. No running through. No flying through. Sir, man, you need to understand. Even though thou walkest, as you are walking, look at me, as you are walking, it's taking out things. It's destroying things out of you. It's bringing in things. So if you run, those things cannot be accomplished. The way you talk, the way you act, the way you think. you are walking it through, He's dealing with them. He's pruning you. He's making you better. Hello?
Amen.
Because God wants to bring you into greatness. And you need to understand that it takes a man who has been in Hadolah. Look at this. Who can sit on the throne. You cannot sit on the throne when you have not been to your Hadolah. David was in the cave of Adullam for years, for months, for days. Saul was still in town. He cannot come and be on the throne. He has to run for his life. A man that had been anointed for a throne yet 3 times, he was not found around the palace. Hello? He was in the cave, where God was busy pruning him. Only to find out, look out, the man God blesses was not the David in the palace, was the David in the forest. The David in the palace is no longer the David in the forest. Because as it were, look at this, in the forest God was speaking to him. In the palace it is the flesh speaking to him. So God always wants you to go through your Hadolah before He can bring you to sit on the throne. Are you with me?
Amen.
Come on, talk to me. That's why you need to understand when it comes to your life, don't take it anyhow. Don't take it anyhow. I have come to understand that if God is busy with you, things will not go the way you want, but the way you want. The way you want. It won't happen like that. The way He wants. The way He wants.
The way He wants.
Eh?
The way He wants.
The way He wants. So, no matter what you do, if God is not there, you are not there. Color it, paint it, call it anything. If God is not there, you are not there. And it takes God. It takes a protocol to see God. That's what I'm trying to share with you this morning. As I wrap up this series of His presence, I pray for you. If your amen can be the loudest, you will not miss His presence this year.
Amen.
Shout the loud amen.
Amen.
Look at Psalm 89, verse 20. We read it down to verse 24. God's presence is the seal upon a man. It makes His presence to be your signature. He said, I have found David my servant. With my holy oil will I anoint him. The oil of God, the anointing of God is the signature of His presence upon a man. Look at verse 21. He said, with whom my hands shall be established. My hands also shall strengthen them. The arms of God, look, this is an hand. My hands shall be upon him, and He will strengthen him. That is His presence, brother. That is His presence. But you need to be found. That is His presence. Look at verse 22. It will interest you to know. He said, the enemy shall not exalt upon him. Now the son of Look at the afflicted. Verse 23. I love this. Verse 23. And I will beat down his foot before him. Verse 24. And plague them that hate him. But my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him. In my name this all shall be exalted. Look up, church. You need to understand, whenever a man stands outside of God, his enemy will afflict him. They will oppress him. Verse 23. His enemy will beat him down. But when God is with you, He said, I will beat down his foes and plague them. I want to fight with him. Verse 23. Verse 22. He said, the son of wickedness will not afflict him. Verse 22. The son of wickedness. 22. The enemy shall not exert, and the son of wickedness shall not afflict him. Why? Because, verse 24, my faithfulness. When God promised you his faithfulness, go to sleep. Go and rest. Go and what? Go and what? Go and what? Hello? I can't hear you, church. My faithfulness shall be with him. Now I know. Anytime you are afflicted, check it. It's not there. He has checked out. Anytime the son of wickedness are oppressing you, his faithfulness is out. Look for it. Look for it. Seek it. My mercy and my faithfulness shall be with him. Covenant. 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 Look up. When you see his presence, you know. You know. My faithfulness. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the three Hebrew boys, they were face to face with fire. In the midst of the fury furnace, it was heated 7 more times. My faithfulness and my mercy shall be with it. Who could believe? Those boys never change. They never change. They never change their mind. My faithfulness and my mercy. Church, you need to rest in God. You need to understand what it takes to enjoy overflowing rest in the year, in the course of the year. My faithfulness, my mercy shall be with him. Come on now. When God promised you, covenant with you for his faithfulness, then the battle is this. They were walking in the fire as if nothing happens. Even the man that want to destroy them said, were they not 3 we put? Daniel 3, verse 24 and 25. Were they not 3 we put? I can see a 4th man, and his look is like the Son of God. That was the first prophecy of the Messiah written in the scripture. That was the first time. The 4th man I see, his look is like the look of the Son of God. When your enemies start seeing God's presence around you, go and rest. They know that they can't toy with you. I'm amazed with your presence. There is nothing you can do. I want more of you. Come on now. I want more of you, Jesus. The more I know you, the more I want to know you, Jesus. More of you. I would have lied to you if I tell you this is your year of greatness, of breakthroughs, of favor. Without his presence, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. My faithfulness. Look at that there. In Daniel chapter 6, verse 22 to 24. Come on now. He said, Daniel, when the king got to the lions there, he said, hey, Daniel, your God that you serve day and night, were he able to save? He said, hey, that man has sent his angel ahead of me. God's presence descend into the dens of life. Tell me, 2020, there are hundreds of dens of life. But when it's there with you, go and rest. Go and do what? 24 hours, Daniel was with them. They were singing and Daniel were dancing. Daniel will sing, the lion will be dancing. Why? Because the Creator is there with him. Our frustration is that we go ahead of him and we leave him behind. 2020, he wants to covenant with you with his presence. Are you ready to go with him?
Amen.
Come and talk to me, church. Are you ready to go with him?
Amen.
You need to know all this so that you can be packaged for the journey. In John chapter 14 verse 21, John chapter 14 verse 21, Jesus speaking. He said, the one that obey my commandment and keep it is the one that love me, and I will manifest myself to him. John 14:20. He that has my commandment and keepeth them, it is he that loveth me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him and manifest myself. Jesus speaking. I will manifest myself. My faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him. My hand shall strengthen him. It does not matter where he finds himself, as long as he loves me, as long as he keeps my commandment. My Father will love him, and I will show forth. You see why you are alone? You see why God not manifests himself in your life? Because you seem to be on your own. You seem to be deriving joy in being alone. You can't survive this year like that. 2019, you were left on your own, not this year.
Amen.
Let his presence accompany you. Let his presence go with you.
Amen.
He that loveth me shall be loved of my Father. Look up, look up, look at this, look at this. When I say look up, please focus. It's very good that you are attentive in class. This is a class. I'm teaching you how to be laminated in his presence. Everybody, read it for me. 1 to go. Stop. Read it for me. 1 to go. Everybody. Yes. Yes. Louder. Yes. Did you see that? So if you want God to manifest himself to you, keep his commandment. Love him. You see why you are just on your own? He's not manifesting himself in your business. You are the one carrying the battle all by yourself. Your health, is it not a concern to you yourself? So why don't you give it to him to handle? Your finances, aren't you tired of where you are? You are always on the calendar. I'm there, calendar. I was driving from Swaziland the other time, and I entered a garage just to refresh and refuel. And I saw some people on the queue. 12 midnight, the last day of the I said, where are these people from? And then the petrol attendant said, it is salary night, so they are coming to take their money, so that the bank will not take the whole thing. The bank will not want take the whole thing. They wouldn't sleep, they are not at rest, because they are afraid of what the bank will take. Aren't you tired of working for the bank? Aren't you tired of working just to pay bills? God wants to bless you. He wants to manifest himself to you. How will he do that? When you love him. Say, Lord, I love you.
Lord, I love
I can't hear you. Shout it, let me hear you.
Lord, I love you.
When you love him, your heart will be revived. You don't know what is love. L-O-V-E. You know what is that? You know what is that? If somebody tells you now, you are smiling, isn't it? someone you listen to. O means someone you are open to. V means someone you value. E means someone you esteem. You esteem God. He that loveth me. He that listens to me. He that is open to me. I will manifest myself to him. You are in church, but you are open to Facebook. You are in church, you are open to WhatsApp. You are in church, you are open for online. People know you are in church, but they can still see you online. You are open. Not to God, but to your own stuff. Hello? A lady said to me, hello? Hello?
Amen.
A lady said to me, I said, are you married? He said, it depends on who is asking. I can be single, I can be engaged, I can be married, I can be what? I can be open for a relationship. Depend on who is asking. Did you hear that? So I'm amazed. Sometimes when you see a married woman, it depends on who is asking. Sometimes when you see a single lady, it depends on who is asking. You need to know how not to be open for anything except to him. Listen to me, right now. Nothing commit God to you like you committing to do whatsoever he says. Right now. Nothing commit God. Nothing commit God. He that loveth me and keepeth my commandment. It is him that my Father will love, and I will show myself to him. God wants to show himself in your life this year. Did you say amen to that? Amen. I said God wants to show himself to your life this year. Amen. He wants those that hate you to bow before you. Amen. He wants those that are speaking against your life to swallow their words over your life. Amen. Are you with me? Church, listen to this. I have seen God. His faithfulness and mercy, there is nothing as compared to him. Nothing as compared to him. The sacrifices of God are of a broken spirit. 2020, God wants to manifest himself, but nothing committing like committing to do what he says. Listen to this. Look up. Nothing commit God like committing to do whatsoever he tells you. Jesus was at the marriage canal of Galilee, and the wine finished. And they said to him, they said to the Lord that the wine has finished. And the Lord said to him, hey, God, do your miracle. And he said to his mother, hey, woman, my time has not come. The woman went to those guys, the event man, and said, go back to him, I know him. Whatsoever he tells you to do, just do it. That's the only condition. Whatsoever he tells you to do it. Listen, it's not that God is not interested in being with you, but he knows you don't carry out his instructions. It's like one thing I hate to do in life is to speak twice over one matter. I hate it with passion. I hate to repeat myself. When God starts repeating himself to you, hellfire straight. So you need to understand, how does God manifest himself to you? Hello? What are the protocols? What are the patterns that lead to his presence? Sir, I spoke to almost 4 heads of the president before I could be able to speak to him. Me, this man, I don't blow. You won't understand that English. Father says, I don't blow. They have to tell me the color of the suit he was wearing, and I don't have that suit. I said, I don't blow. I said, I didn't want to see me now. I will be the one to. There's a pattern and protocol to this. In December, I was in the nation. And when I arrived, they stopped me on my way to get my bag. About 5 guys crossed me. And I'm used to that. They crossed me. They said, stop, sir. I stopped. I was having my hand luggage. Relax. They were looking as if they are looking for something. I was just cool. They said to me, sir, today is independent and all that. We have a special buffet and dinner with dignitaries on this land. I would love to invite you. And if you have seen me fly, you will know that I don't fly like this. I fly like a boy. I said to them, so? He said, sir, do you have a luggage? I said, I've got. He said, can you get your luggage and I will take it to the office so I will fill the form. By 2 p.m. today, it was early in the morning, we come and pick you up. When I hear, go get your luggage and come back, I said to them, 2 p.m., I will still be sleeping. Thank you. I moved. Where am I going? My son who came to pick me at the airport, when I told him the story, he said, Daddy, that's a very good package. I said, but you didn't tell me. What if they are taking me somewhere? Because I want to eat their buffet. I said, no, you didn't tell me, so let's go. What am I saying? There are things to be done for you to be able to sit with VVIP, dignitaries. There are things that need to be in place for you to be able to stand before His Royal Highness. That is a man. That is a what? That man still goes to toilet. That man still sleep. He still snore. That is a man that you need to be dressed. Look at Joseph when he was to appear before Pharaoh, isn't it? They have to go and shave him. They put him in a royal cloth, the color the kings like to see. If a man can desire that, what about the King of Kings? 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 Church, your life is empty because you have always been by yourself. Always be by yourself. Look at Jeremiah 6 verse 16. He said, seek for the old path. Not every place is good. Because that old path is the good place. It's the good way. Seek for it and tread it. Not every place is a good place. We must invest in the presence of God in 2020.
Amen.
We must what?
Yes.
Whatsoever that will cause to go for it. Thus said the Lord, stand ye in the way and see, and ask for the old path, where it is a good way. The old path is the good way. The way to seek it is in the old path, which is the good way. Hello? In the building of Solomon, the temple, God supervises it. God lays hands on the builder so that they can build according to pattern. If you read your Bible very well, it was God giving them instruction, the color of the wood to use, the size of the bricks to use. Why? Because if it's not built according to pattern, His presence will not come down. Listen carefully, church. No matter what you want, if it's not there, who will give you? Because when I look at some of you, I just laughed. If God is not there, what will you do? Who do you think you are? If He's not there, you are empty. Say, Father, I need your presence.
I need your presence.
I can't hear you.
Father,
Shout it like you mean it. Shout, Father, I need your presence.
I need your presence.
His presence will not come until the pattern is kept. Write it down. His presence will not come. Are you sleeping on that studio? Until the pattern is kept. Don't sleep. His presence will not come down until the pattern is kept. His Shekinah glory will not descend until the pattern is kept. Until you align yourself to the pattern. Somebody's not here. Amen.
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 So we need to understand how to seek His pattern. To seek His pattern is to seek His timing. Write it down. Write it down. To seek His pattern is to seek His timing. To seek His pattern. Psalm 63 verse 2 says, early will I seek thee. So God comes at His own time, not at your own time. That is very important. Look out. It is seeking His pattern to seek His timing. Seek me early and you will find. Verse 1. Early, O Lord, thou art my God, early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee, and my flesh longeth for thee. Early will I seek thee. So it could be late, it could be midday, but according to the revelation of David, we know that there is a time attached to His pattern. Say I hear. Don't forget, I said number one, He is always speaks to us. His presence is assured to us through His servant, through the sent man. Do you hear that? He said, as you do what they say, my faithfulness and mercy shall be with you. Don't forget. So He is seeking His presence. You must seek His pattern. He is seeking His pattern. You must seek His timing. Very good. I'm not trying to complicate the matter for you. Just understand where I'm going, then you will get there. Amen.
Amen.
Come and talk to me. Amen.
Amen.
So you need to understand, the pursuit of God is not in your own time. It's in His time. So if the devil wants to steal from you, he does not steal your clothes, he steals your time. Some of you can sit with a movie for 10 hours. Some of you can sit in a restaurant for 8 hours. What the devil steals from you is nothing but your timing. Your timing. Once it's not right, it's not right. God does not come at your own time. He does not. Will I seek thee? So if you think you can find God the way you are doing, forget it. God is not sheep. God is not what?
Not sheep.
His presence is not sheep. You find that anytime you wake up, anytime, no, that's not God. That's not God. Write it down. It takes time to know God. It takes time to know God. Write it down. It takes time to know God. Why are you so slow? It takes time to know God. It is your pursuit of God that is culminating your timing that result in greatness. It takes time. Look up, everybody. If you are not a timekeeper, you can't keep God. God does not work with time, but you operate with time. It does not work. It lives outside of time in order to control the time. Did you hear that? The time cannot control you, but it controls it. Say I hear.
I hear.
So the jealousy of God will not let him reveal himself to you at any time until the time is right. Write it down. He's jealous of his presence. Just like you too, you are jealous of your presence. If I just tell you come to my birthday now, what the first thing you will ask is the invitation letter or the invitation card. You are jealous of your presence. You don't just want to go and sit somewhere and they are not expecting you. So also God is jealous of his presence. He does not reveal himself until the time is right. So there are protocols to his presence. Say with me, protocol. I can't hear you. Before you get into that protocol, you must follow the pattern. What are the patterns to his presence? Write it down. It's not prayer, it's not fasting, it's not giving, it's not tithing. It's not even the way you look. It is death. Say with me, death. I can't hear you. Say with me, death. The pattern of God's presence is not anything but tying to your echo. Death. Say with me, death.
Yes.
When you die, you carry God. When you are alive, you can't. Hello? Say with me, death. I can't hear you, church. Only one person is talking. Let me hear you shout it.
Yes.
Death. When the man dies, he's ready to see him. Your being alive is what makes God to stay away from you. The price for all of God, write it down, is all of you. The price for all of God is all of you. The price for life is death. Not all of your seed, not all of your certificate, not all of your position. Because some of us we thought, okay, I have something. I'm handsome. Who told you you are handsome? I'm beautiful. Who is lying to you? You're beautiful. Sir, look at me. Don't ever think you have something outside of you. Huh? I was talking to someone, and anytime he's talking, he's always talking in millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. This was a lady who said, "Sir, you're going nowhere. And I have to go back." Oh. Sir, this woman has never stepped on any church for almost 3 years. And I spoke the way God usually speak. I spoke to her. I didn't know who I was talking to. But God began to reveal as He began to reveal her to. That is the day I realized that no matter what you have, you are nothing before God. God said to me, I have delivered her in 3 occasions that she would have died. To a one shot. She looked at the person that brought her. Said, "Did you tell me?" She said, "No, I can't tell you." Look at me. And God said, "But she is ungrateful. She is ungrateful. She's a good woman, she's everything, but she is ungrateful." many of us, what God has done to us should make us to be very grateful to the end of our lives. But just because you are not dead to self, you are alive. Forget God. God has no business with you. He has no what? Some of you are not here. He has no what? He has no business with you. The price for all of God is all of you. Even Jesus could not be escaped. Even Jesus could not be excused. He said, the time has come for the Son of Man to be crucified and glorified. So except a seed dies to the ground, it abides alone. A corn of wheat, except it dies to the ground, he abides alone. Look at me. If Jesus will have to die, that's why you need to understand what happens in the grave. The grave, look at this, it is the place of resurrection and the place of death. One place, two events. If you must resurrect, you must die. If you must be glorified, you must be crucified. Die! There is a realm you live. Galatians chapter 1 verse 20. Galatians chapter 1 verse 20. He said, nevertheless I live, but Christ liveth in me. There is a realm you get to, brother, sister. You die to whatever you have. The all of God is all of you. The all of God is all of you. Galatians chapter 1 verse 20. Galatians chapter 1 verse 20. He said, nevertheless. Now this verse 20. So you need to understand the all of God. Galatians 2 verse 20, sorry. Galatians 2 verse 20. I am crucified with Christ. Look up. Nevertheless, I live. Yet not I, but Christ. There is a realm you live. It's no longer you living. So when you are still alive to your beauty, you are still alive to your shoes, you are still alive to your time, you are still alive to your cream, you are still alive to your shoes, to your watch, to your phone. You are still alive to your money in the bank. You are alive to your name. You carry your name as if nobody, no, I have a name to protect you. The all of God, brother, is the all of you. Anytime you are in that realm, he manifests himself. Listen, there is a level you cannot take anything anymore. Are you aware? As women. So if God must take you to walk through fire, he must kill you. It takes a dead man to walk through the fire and did not see anything. So I have seen fire. I have walked through water. It takes a man who is broken. Just 2 weeks ago, a man was beheaded in the northern part of Nigeria. Why? Because he refused to deny his faith in Jesus. Beheaded. Beheaded. Where are we today? How many of you saw that? You saw that news? You saw that news? Beheaded. The price for life is death. Write it down. You need to die in order for you to carry him. The price for life. Write it down, please. Write it down. The price for life is death. The price for the throne is the cross. You can't get the throne until you go through the cross. His presence need you to meet with his conditions. Are you getting what I'm talking about? A dead man does not respond. Call her names, call him names. He does not respond. As long as he's dead, he does not respond. A dead man does not gossip. A dead man does not lie. A dead man does not say what is not true. A dead man does not say what is in his heart. A dead man says what God is saying. Many of us, we have a lot in our heart to say. But because we are not dead, we say it. A dead man, look up, has no ego to protect. For as long as you are alive in yourself, something about the flesh will interrupt the program of God for your life. Just look at Jesus. Look up. See the way they beat him if he was not dead. He was first dead. Look at this. Man, sir, look up, look up. How many of you have gone through a surgery before? Surgical work? Alright, you've gone through it. How many of you? Okay, a doctor have called you before. Let me see your hands. You have taken injection before. Injection. See liars. You have not taken injection before. I remember I had a challenge with this. I think it's this one. It was swollen. There is something you peel off and then there is an infection. So I went to the doctor and the guy said, sir, we cannot operate it. We have to cut it. Well, I have to kill your flesh. In order. The guy was cutting me, I was not feeling it. Just 2 injections on my body. He was cutting it and it was as if it's not my flesh, it's cutting. Have you seen that? If they don't do that to you, that's why they can operate a child or from a woman and the woman will still be walking around. They cut your whole tummy. But they have killed every form of flesh in you. You are like paper. So when they were cutting you, you are not even aware. Some of you, you are gone, you slept off. By the time they finish, you wake up. Say, what has happened? They say, forget it. If they want to kill you, let them not give you what will kill your flesh. You can't survive it. The pain alone is enough to kill a man. That is what I'm talking about. For God to rest on you, you must die to yourself. You still have things you protect. You still have things you brag about. You still have things you are keeping from God. Forget about His presence. It does not come that way. You still have relationships you kept away. All kinds of relationships. Woman relationship. Nando's relationship. If you want to eat Nando's, you have the guy you call, hey boy, hey baby. It is when you need Nando's, you know it's your baby. Even the stupid baby say, oh, you want Nando's? They say, yes, you know why I'm calling you. Make it extra hot. Bring it to me. You have a boyfriend you call for airport taxi. If you are going to the airport. All kinds of relationships. You even have the one you call ATM. You have the one you call Mumu. M-U-M-U. Mumu. I was going one day and the guy was asking this lady for his number. I said, for asking for my number, I need $500. And the guy paid. I said, for number. For number. Just for number, 500. So you need to understand how to carry his presence. It is in your death. Say with me, in my death.
In my death.
Is alive.
Is alive.
You cannot be alive and God will be alive. No. There is something about you that will interrupt you. In Luke chapter 1 from verse 58, 56, if you read it down, for God to make sure John the Baptist was named John the Baptist and not Zachariah, God has to make his father, Zachariah, to be deaf and dumb. After that boy was given the name John the Baptist, the man started talking. Did you see God? God makes sure that that man becomes deaf and dumb. Because what? He may want to interrupt the plan of God for that boy if the man can talk. But because the man cannot talk, the whole family depends on what the wife says. Immediately they say, the boy shall be called John. The man starts talking. He now says, no, Zachariah. He says, it's too late. We've named him John already. That is God for you. He will want to make you deaf and dumb until he accomplishes his purpose for your life. Say I hear.
Yeah.
But when you want to force to speak, he backs away from you. You are just on your own. You are too alive to yourself. You are too alive to your men. You are too alive to your property. You are too alive to your ego. You can't carry God like that. There will be a time where you leave your bed, you leave your couch. Lord, I want more of you. You are too alive to your fridge. You are too alive to your food. You can't carry God like that. God is not available with us like that. No. It's not sheep. It's not. No man can endure pain indefinitely. That's why he needs to kill you. Hello? Hello?
Amen.
I hear people say the kingdom of God is gift. No. Beg to differ. The kingdom of God is not just gifting. It's also a reward. It's also a reward. 7,000 prophets were alive when Elijah was alive. Elijah shut the heavens and there was no rain for 3.5 years. These 7,000 prophets, they prayed, they fasted. They asked God to open the heavens for rain to fall. But God perhaps would have told them, hey guys, I am doing business with Elijah on another level. Meaning that there is a level you get to God personalize your work with him. Look at Noah. All the great men of God in the Bible, God never personalized himself with everybody. Men that subdue kingdom, men that shut the mouth of lion. God never called himself as the God of Daniel. God never called himself as the God of Esther. But he said, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the God of Elijah. Why? Because there is a level of sacrifice you walk with God. He personalized. He tailor-made his name with you. I see God doing that for you this year.
Amen.
We are equal but separated. Write it down. We are equal but separated by our level of sacrifices. Write it down. Don't forget. We are equal but separated. Listen to me, church. We are equal but separated by our level of sacrifices. God wants to move with you this year, but your level of sacrifice, your level of relationship with him. God did not need to ask you before you give. God did not need to remind you before you tithe. God did not need to persuade you before you work for him. Who are you? You have everything just by your nostril. You can sleep and not wake up. Your breath is the only thing you have. And that is why you can't see it. You can only know you are breathing. You can't see it. Because it's not yours. You didn't hear that? Hello? Hello? If you have money now, you can see it, isn't it? You have a car now, you can see it. Can you see your bread? You can see it. It's right there in your nose. Once it sees, you are gone. Even the blood you have, the bones you can touch, all the organs in your body you can touch because they are yours. The breath you have is not yours. Genesis 2 verse 7, he breathed it to us so he can take it at any time. So you that you have nothing, you are bragging. He wants you to die to yourself. And the Lord God formed man on the dust of the ground and breathed his nostril, even though his nostril, the breath of life. Look at this, look at this. He breathed it, he can take it. You don't have it for anything. I can drop dead here now. Why? Because the owner removed his breath. That is the bread that makes you to think you are beautiful, my friend. You thought you are awesome. With this your nose. Forget it. You don't know because my husband said I'm beautiful. My girlfriend said, yo, you are sexy. You are a joker. They are only encouraging you. The only thing that makes you to look nice is your breath, and it's not yours. So when you don't have it and you are bragging, you are a fool. That's why Jesus called that man a rich fool. A rich man who is a fool. It's not yours. How can you be bragging on things that is not yours? It is that bread that makes you to drive. It is that bread that makes you to sleep. It is that bread that makes you to wake up. It is that bread that makes you to eat. Without that bread, you are nothing. And the one that put it there says, die to me, and I will be all of you. What is the matter? Very simple arithmetic. Very simple mathematics. Very simple equation. Die for me, and you will see more of me. Die for me, and I will manifest myself for you. Yet you are still bragging. 2020 should be different. 2020 should be what? I can't hear you, church. 2020 should be what? That is the law of encounter. Jeremiah 29 verse 13, as I close. Jeremiah 29 verse 13, he said, if you must seek me, you must find me when you seek me with all your heart. When you seek me with all your heart. When you seek me with all your heart. Jeremiah 17 verse 9 and 10 and 11 says, the heart of the man is deceitful. Who can know it? Listen, don't let your heart test you and deceive you. All I'm saying is that your heart is telling you you are beautiful. It's a deceit. The greatest deceit you can give to yourself is to deceive yourself. I see you walking with him this year.
Amen.
I see you walking with him this year.
Amen.
So anytime you should ask God to bless you, He search your heart. He search your heart. Stand to your feet. He search your heart. Stand to your feet. God, I need a job. For what? To brag. God, I need to be married. For what? To prove to people. And God said you will stay unmarried till the rest of your life. God, I need to have a child. For what? So that my in-laws can accept me. God said, okay, continue. Start to your feet. Anna said, I need a child. God said, for what? So that Penina can know that I'm a woman. God said, forget it. You will never have a child. You will never have a child. God is thinking of generation. You are thinking of Penina. God, I need a child so that I can give you a prophet. God said, okay, you are talking. The all of God is all of you. Sir, when you begin to dress to impress, you are not yet there. But when you begin to dress as a point of necessity, then you are there too. When you begin to eat in order to be fed. You are not yet there. But when you begin to eat in order as a moment of necessity, then you are living for Him. You are living for Him. That is why people will go and steal in order for them to eat. You have not yet died to yourself. Jeremiah 29 verse 13. When you seek me, when you seek me, when you seek me, when you seek me with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your body. Find me when you search for me with all your heart. With all your heart. That is, listen to this, the whole of God is all of you. When your heart stops, you are dead, isn't it? So He said, give me your heart, then you will see. So, there's no other way to see Him. If you can search Him with all your heart. I'm amazed with the way God has ordained 2020 to be for us. If only you can seek Him with all your heart. I'm amazed with the blessing coming your way. I'm amazed with the favor coming your way. If only you will seek Him with all your heart. Either you are here or you are watching me. Listen to this carefully. Your life has no value outside of His presence. Dead to your ego, dead to your tongue. That is, you are no longer the one talking, is the one talking through. Dead to who you are. You are nothing. You are nothing. Maybe your heart has been deceiving you. Jeremiah 17 verse 9 and 10. The heart is deceitful. To the owner of the heart, it is deceitful. Say, who can know it? Even the one carrying the heart is in it. When you are dead to yourself, nothing in this world impresses you. There is nothing God to ask from you. In the first place, who gave it to you? Look at them. In the first place, who gave it to you? The one by time. In the first place, who gave it to you? The woman. The woman. The woman. When you begin to use God's resources for yourself, you are still alive for yourself. Sir, when I was leaving His Excellency, remember that I don't just preach in Victoria. People watch me all over. I'm not going to tell you what is not. His protocol gave me an envelope worth of 40,000 rands. When he told me, I said, thank you, sir. The man that gave me, be careful. I think they were telling you. And I handed it over to the host. He said, how on earth can you do that? I said, you don't want me to come back? My mother didn't raise a fool. He raised a smart boy. You put water before you can step on the wet ground. This is not. It's a program you can understand in South Africa. You pour water in front, then you can step. And he was telling you, he said that is too much of a water. Isn't it? That is too much of a water. I would have heard it and kept it. And that was the last time I saw that envelope. I never see it. It does not matter. Listen to me. Until you die, you know what you are. You have no future. God needed not to remind you that you need to give before you give. He needed not to remind you that you need to pray before you pray. He needed not to remind you before you die. He needed not to remind you. Why? Because you are dead to it. Dead to it. Dead to it. Listen, you know what I'm talking about? I will be lying to you. Anytime you see me here, don't expect to see me another week. Don't. So the little time I have with you, I must show you the secret of how it works. How it works so that you can make it work. If you fake it, you can't make it. You can't fake it. This year I make it. Just tabernacle with it and show that you love him. I see the best of God coming your way this year. I can hear you loud amen. Are you ready for him? Lift up your two hands. Say, Father, I am ready for you. I am ready for you. Open your mouth and cry to him. Open your mouth and cry to him. I am ready. Speak to the Lord. Speak to the Lord. Lord, I am ready for you. Lord, I am ready for you. Lord, I am ready for you. I want to walk with you. I want to walk with you. I want to walk with you. Speak to me. Lord, help me to walk with you in 2020. Lord, help me to walk with you in 2020. Lord, help me to walk with you in 2020. Why don't you pray? Speak to the Lord. Lord, I want to journey with you in 2020. Lord, I want to journey with you in 2020. Lord, I want to journey with you in 2020. Speak to the Lord. Speak to the Lord. Help me, Lord. Lift up your hands and cry to him. Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Speak to him. Speak to him. Lord, help me. Give me grace. Give me grace. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Somebody shout it and let me hear you. Look at me. Look at me. Jesus fasted for how many days? How many days? 40 days. After that fasting, who was talking to him? So, I thought fasting should be to keep the devil away. Why is the devil coming to touch him? Why is the devil talking to him and is not afraid of him? He is not afraid. Even your speaking in tongues does not move the devil. What moves him is your deafness to your head. I'm not saying the way it's in the man. Woman, if you are still saying it the way it is in your heart, you are still alive to your heart. And your heart is deceitful. It's deceitful. Some of you lie to yourself that you are somebody. It is your heart. Oh, you don't understand. Look at me. To see God, you must seek Him with all your heart. If the devil will not be afraid of the fasting of Jesus, he will not be afraid of anybody. Listen to me. I was by my hotel room when he woke me up. He said, my word, the word I created, the devil is fighting and made to take it away from me. I need you to proclaim my presence. There's anything I must tell you is how to access His presence. And you cannot access His presence until you understand the protocol to the secret place. And you cannot understand the protocol to His secret place until a pattern is kept. The pattern is kept. God will always look for a man to speak to you. That is the pattern. He has done that over the years. He will not change it because of you. If you want to know God for yourself, go and look for Him, but you can't. God uses His covenant with His son, with His servant, in order to bless you. It is the covenant upon the man of God that God uses to reach you. That is His pattern. And that is what leads you to His presence. If I'm not here and you are not here, you don't understand the protocol and the pattern to His presence. Because I'm not, Papa is not around, Prophet is not around, and you felt that okay, let me just not go. It's Wednesday. Let me just stay behind. You are missing destiny without knowing, because the devil is stealing from you with time. Say with me, time. Time, say it. Because it takes time. It takes time to grow. It takes time, and that's the time the devil is stealing from every man, so that you don't get what He wants for you. Say, Father, take me away from me. You didn't hear that prayer? Say, Father, take me away from me. Take me from me. There's a me in me. Lord, take it. There's a me in me. Take it. Lift up your church. There's a me in me. Kill it. Let it die today. Lift up your church. Open your mouth and cry to the Lord. Cry to the Lord. There's a me in me. There's a me in me. There's a me in me. Take it, Oga. Kapala koshokoto katala. Ribrozo braki kizukutoria katala. In the cross, in my glory. Mighty name we pray. It is done. In Jesus' name. Please be seated. You know your prayer you pray and forget about it here. You continue it when you get up. Back in the tithe.